Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is PGP. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantabulous day. And today we're going to be, yes, we're doing another video, one of these videos where we're talking about will X game come to the Evercade handheld now? Obviously, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. We're talking about Streets of Rage. Now, first of all, let's obviously get away with the fact that we need to obviously understand the fact that in order for these games to come to the Evercade, uh, Evercade will have to, or Evercade and Blaze Entertainment, who obviously manufactures the Evercade, will need to strike up a deal with the owner of the Saints of the not Saints Row, Streets of Rage IP, in which case is Sega, because and whilst I don't doubt that that won't happen, remember that's not been confirmed. This is just going off of what I think is possible and what we know is possible with the Evercade, as well as the VS and whatnot. So take this video with obviously a pinch of salt. I'm not confirming any games being announced. I'm just confirming that what games can run it. So let's obviously have a look at Streets of Rage. Now, remember there are 4 Streets of Rage games. There are Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, people are going to be like, "Oh, Streets of Rage 4 won't run on the Evercade." You're right, it won't. First of all, big problem with Streets of Rage 4 is it wasn't designed for a console that can be ran on the Evercade, that the Evercade can emulate. Because remember, the Evercade can't run anything past the PlayStation 1 uh, console wise, and then handheld wise, I think the highest taken up is the Game Boy Advance, and they can't go any past that. So, yeah, Saints Row, not Saints, I keep saying Saints Row, Streets Rage 4 wouldn't, run on the Evercade, first of all. And second of all, it wouldn't fit on the cartridge, because the cartridge is quite small, because the games are quite small. The cartridges don't have much storage. And to download a game like Streets Rage 4 on my Xbox One, which I did to obviously get the gameplay footage, my Xbox One was Xbox Series S. I got it on Game Pass. It was nearly 6 gigabytes, 5.96 gigabytes. So, in order for the game to fit on the cartridge, it would need to be quite a big cartridge, like the Switch cartridge, which I don't see Blaze being able to fit that game onto the Evercade cartridge and then be able to offer the other games. And speaking of which, Street Fighter 4 has a different publisher than Sega. It's the publisher Dumont, who obviously is best known for reviving classic retro IPs as modern games. Similar to Pico Interactive, because Pico Interactive is making buys old IP for old consoles, whereas Domontu makes modern games for modern consoles that have old IP. But yeah, Street Fighter 4 wouldn't run on the system and it wouldn't fit on the system. Even though I don't doubt that they could make it run on the system if the game was a bit smaller, or and it did work on like one of the old Sega consoles or something. It doesn't. It won't work, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean the others won't. Because Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 were all released on the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive in the 90s, and the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis is a console that the Evercade actually emulates, which means that it is actually possible for the original trilogy of Saints Row, stop saying Saints Row, Streets of Rage games to run on the Evercade across both systems. However, I will say I do want this to happen, so I'm a bit biased because I want the Evercade sort of like trying to market itself as like the home for the best beat 'em ups in video games. Because they already have like a bunch of techno games like Double Dragon, they've got River City Ransom, they've got Coffee Crisis, and they've got that's like bad dudes. They've got quite a few. They've got a few others, but yeah. And Streets of Rage is obviously a gaming icon, a beat 'em up icon, especially when it comes to Sega on the Sega Genesis and whatnot, because it was always there. It was always there with the Sega Genesis. It's one of the standout trilogies, and it'd be nice to have that game on the Evercade. And the game's been re-released so many times. I wouldn't doubt Sega would be willing to put the games on Evercade if for the right price, for the right deal, and they would run. It'd be great to play them portably on the Evercade handheld and not on the VS. But I will have to say this: there is no partnership between Sega, the company who owns Streets of Rage, or Blaze Entertainment, who makes the Evercade at this time. And people will say, well, they used to distribute a bunch of, like mini consoles made by Sega by Hack Games. That was the old Blaze Entertainment, which went bankrupt in 2015, and the new one has just bought the name, right? So just to remind people, remember, the Blaze Entertainment that worked with Sega in the past isn't the one that isn't working with them now. that's just the way businesses go. Companies get bought out, companies go bankrupt. It's just how business is. But my question, obviously, if people are wondering, do you think Street Fighter will come to the Evercade? I think it's got a good chance of coming to the Evercade. We do know that Sega was talking to Blaze Entertainment a while back to release games on the system, so I don't doubt that they're gonna bring games to the Evercade. Will Street Fighter be included in that? I'm not sure. There's tons and tons of games that Sega owns that run on obviously the Master System, the Mega Drive slash Genesis, and other systems like the Game Boy Advance and whatnot. So I don't doubt Sega will bring something over, but will be Street Rage? We don't know. And yeah, this video is basically saying Street Rage will be able to run on the Evercade if obviously Blaze and Sega can work out a deal for it, and I hope they do. I hope they do, and then hopefully they can market the Evercade as like the home for beat 'em ups and retro beat 'em up games, because that's basically what it is. Like it's got the techno stuff, it's got Coffee Crisis, it's got a bunch of stuff from Pico. There's a lot. There's a lot of beat 'em ups on the system, and I feel like they could use that to their advantage. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And let me know if there's any games that you want me to make a video about. Would it be possible for them to come to the Evercade? In the comments down below. Uh, Links to my Twitter in the description. A little bit of bio and all sorts of stuff. And I also want to give a big shout out to RetroQ-9, who's obviously basically, for those of you who don't know my history of this guy. Basically, I was getting out of the YouTube content game, and I decided I was going to email him like 30 video ideas for the Evercade. So I sent them all to him. I sent them all to Bacon Ice Cream Productions. And basically, guys, for those of you who don't know, they've used some of them, and I really appreciate them doing that, because I didn't want to really do these videos anyway. I just thought they were some great ideas. I've passed them on. So my series of videos is now sort of going to be like, are going to be more about, will X game be able to come to Evercade, and it'll be about modern games, modern retro games, all that sort of stuff. So I'll leave a link to RetroQ-9's channel in the description as well. Go check him out. He's made videos like, will Neo Geo games run on the Evercade, which, that'd be great. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace out, yo.